So before we hand out our next award, I would like to acknowledge a special guest here tonight, one of DSYCS founders, and still on our advisory board, Carolyn Herrick. In a moment, I'm going to invite Patty, one of Carolyn's daughters, to come up here and speak a little bit. However, I also wanted to just extend a personal thank you for myself and for the board of directors for your vision and all the support you've given to this agency over the years. We have some flowers for you here. It's a small token. We hope it can brighten up your day a little bit, maybe even a fraction as much as all the work you've done over the years has brightened up so many lives. So thank you again very much, and we appreciate everything you've done. And if Patty, if you want to come up and say a few words.
Hello. Thank you all for coming and for supporting DSYCS, which is why we're all here. As you can see from the information in the program about my mom, she's a very impressive woman. She spent her entire adult life caring for and nurturing children, some of whom she gave birth to, some of whom she gave life to. Even with our large family of 10 children, my mom always made room for other children. Whenever there was a need, we hosted Fresh Air Fund children in the summers from New York City. We had a collection of foster children live with us throughout my childhood. Everyone was treated like a member of our family with the hope that it would provide a temporary safe haven for them. But my mom is really the best person to speak about the significance of an organization like DSYCS and why it is so important for her and for all of us to continue to support it. When Phil asked me to write a little bit about my mom for the program, I went looking through her files, and I came across a speech that she delivered when she was recognized by the National Association for Social Workers for having made the greatest contribution to social policy and change. And I'm going to just read some of that because I think it really says just all the right things. She said that I accept this award on behalf of all the children I have known and worked with over 30 years. They have inspired me and challenged me. They have had the courage to share their secrets, some painful, some bewildering, but all of it with the innocence and hope. Innocence as they still believe that adults will ease their pain and make things better, and hope as they wish that we will not let them down. Each day I meet children whose young lives are perched on the edge of danger. If there is a way to lessen that danger, it will be through social policy changes. We all need to be advocates for all of these children. As one of the wealthiest countries in the world, why should any of our children suffer? We need to continue to work to create and implement policies that will provide opportunities for our children to live in safety and security, and to create pathways that will lead them to happy and productive adult lives. I ask, when and how will we give them a village where they can be nurtured? These words were spoken 18 years ago, but they're still relevant today, and DSYCS has done those things, has provided a village to nurture these children, and that's why it's so important to support this organization. So on behalf of all of your children and all of the children who have benefited from your lifelong commitment to them, thank you, and we love you. So the first person to be granted the award that is named in my mom's honor is Stan Rosenberg, and Senator Stan Rosenberg, Stan to us. Stan's been a longtime family friend. My mom met him when he was really a teenager back at UMass back in the 70s. And Stan grew up in foster care. Stan has experienced a lot of the challenges that some of the kids in the DSYCS program experience. But he has, gone on to really apply his skills to the benefit of a lot of different causes, but one of them that's near and dear to him is DSYCS. And he has been a great advocate for the program. It's just a great honor for Stan to be the first recipient of this award. Stan is soon to be the Senate President and is tonight unavailable to be here because he has Senate responsibilities. So I believe Tom Mitchell is here to receive this award on Stan's behalf, which is really for his lifelong commitment to DSYCS and to the youth. And one of the things that Stan did recently was help secure funding for the LGBTQ youth program, Housing First pilot program, so that young people, LGBTQ people can have a safe place to stay and not be forced to sleep outside or in shelters that might not be safe and secure for them. So we'd like to present this to Tom. Thank you, Tom. And we also have a card for Stan that's a thank you from some of the formerly homeless youth that are now housed in the LGBTQ Housing First program that Stan was able to secure funding for. So thanks to Stan and thanks to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I am usually very nervous on the rare occasions that I'm asked to speak for Stan, mostly because there's always a chance that I might not accurately convey his sentiments. I'm a little bit less nervous this time because during the past 21 years that I've worked for Stan, I've also had the privilege of getting to know Carolyn. And I know what an inspiration she is and what a treasure she is. So I feel like Carolyn is a friend of mine too. And I know how much you mean to Stan because you mean a lot to me. On Stan's behalf, I offer a most heartfelt thank you. Please believe me, he would be here if he could, and he wants you all to know that he has great admiration for the work that you do and that the needs of our young people are never far from his thoughts. Thank you.
Try to compose myself here. If you've ever been to a DSYCS event before, you know that we are always we end right on time or earlier, where we try to be very punctual. Just again, congratulations to all our awardees, and thank you very much to Patty for getting all of Carolyn's family here today to be with us. And Carolyn, I'm so glad you could join us today. BJ, Liz, just amazing folks. Tom, thank you so much for coming for Stan. I'd also like to thank everybody in this room as well for being part of everyone here's success. You're all part of a community network that really provides support and connections in so many ways to each other and the youth in the community. I'm very thankful to be a part of that. I have a couple shameless plugs, engagement opportunities that I do want to share with you before we all depart this evening. First is that tonight marks the kickoff to our annual fundraising campaign. This year, the The focus is capacity building. 75% of Dial Self's funding right now comes from government contracts, 8% from rental income, and the remaining 17 comes from local support and fundraising. Given the state of government in Washington, we know that relying too heavily on those federal funds can be dangerous, and so in the next year, Dial Self is going to be working on strengthening all of our systems and support base to ensure we can continue services to youth like BJ and Liz here. In your programs, you'll see a small envelope and donation slip. Feel free to use that slip yourself at some point or pass it on to a friend or a colleague, maybe with a Dial Self brochure. We appreciate anything you can do there. I also have several events coming up, and many of them are listed in your programs. I'd like to do a little shout out about them. Coming up this Saturday, we have the 6th annual Powder Puff football game between Pioneer and Franklin County Tech. It's at 11 a.m., and it's hosted at Pioneer. It's a really fun event, and it's a fundraiser obviously for Dial Self, and they accept cash at the door, and instead of cash, you can bring non-expired, non-perishable food items as well, and those food items go to Dial Self's food pantry. That's this weekend, this Saturday, 11 a.m., Pioneer. Also coming up on Thanksgiving, 1 week from today, we will have the 2nd annual Dial Self Sachem Scamper. And if you can say that 3 times fast, you are much more talented than I am. The Scamper is a 5K trail run that happens in Greenfield. It starts at the Warming Hut near Highland Pond. There's also a 3K for non-runners like myself, and I think either Garth or Melinda, do you guys want to say a few more words maybe about prizes or anything else going on with that event before I move on to the next?
Sure. So it's a great event. Now we can actually call it an annual because it's having the 2nd time. We were the first, hopefully, annual last year. But yeah, it's 5K. It's on the Greenfield High cross-country course. But you don't have to be a Greenfield Green Wave supporter. We also accept turn people. That's okay. Anyone is welcome. It's a really good time. We have hot apple cider. We run around. We're vigorous exercise, so we can all then go off and gorge for the rest of the day. So hope you all come out. There's registration on Run Reg. There's also a flyer I believe at the registration table. And hope to see you bright and early on Thanksgiving morning. Thank you much.
That was Garth Schoenefeld, Dial Self Board of Directors. Thank you. What else do we have coming up? We also, on December 10th, Dial Self will be participating in the 3rd annual Valley Gives Day. That's a day of online giving that's sponsored and kind of organized by the Community Foundation of Western Mass. We're excited to be taking part in that again, and so as we get closer, if you're attached to social media, you'll certainly start seeing a whole bunch of some posts from us and other agencies in the community, and I hope when you're online thinking about giving, you'll consider Dial Self and potentially tell several of your friends through your social media accounts. Tweet, whatever it is you want to do. In February, we'll be having a trivia night at the Greenfield Moose Family Center. And coming up in March, for those of you who like to plan ahead, I think the last Sunday in March, we will be having our annual badminton tournament in Northfield, Mount Herman. And if you have never been to this event, it is an amazing event. We have, 8 badminton courts with 3 people teams. So we have 16 teams of 3 playing 9 games of badminton simultaneously for 2 hours, and we do that twice during the day. So it's an amazing event. People dress up in costumes. We have a couple awards for actually winning the badminton tournament, but we actually give out more trophies for costuming, spirit, sportsmanship, and whatever else we see that we think is just awesome. I think we've given out trophies for songs, chants, dances, so you can get a feel for this is a kind of an exciting and fun event. So that we'll have more information coming up on that on our website soon, but the last Sunday in March for that. We have a lot going on. We have a lot of amazing board and staff and volunteers who make that happen, who provide the services, who provide the opportunities for youth. And we couldn't do it without everyone. I have the best staff in the world at Dial South. And so just once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Feel free. We still have time in the room. So if you want to chat amongst yourselves, congratulate our awardees before they run out the door. Definitely, I would encourage you to do that. Thank you again for coming tonight, and safe travels, everyone. Thank you.